The Manhattan Project was a project that was conducted by Presidents Franklin Roosevelt and Josh Truman. The Manhattan Project is a code name for the actual project. The main purpose of this project was to create an atomic bomb. The U.S. also wanted to create the atomic bomb before any other opposing countries such as the Soviet Union, England, or Japan. The Soviet Union was the biggest threat to the U.S. because they actually had the means to creating an atomic bomb. Albert Einstein is the reason that the atom bomb was created by the U.S. and in general. He was the one that found out that the Soviet Union was trying to build an atom bomb, and he then proposed to the President Franklin D. Roosevelt that the U.S. should build an atom bomb. President Roosevelt accepts and signs the agreements that let the U.S. proceed, and shortly after they begin the process in creating the first atom bomb. There were over 200 employees working on this project, and most of them were scientists. All of the jobs consist of scientists, guards, Secret Service men that spied on enemy production, and people in charge of the production. The whole time this occurred for 6 months, they kept everything a secret from the outside world. Only the employees and some government officials knew about the project. The public knew there was something going on, but the government had said it was going to improve the industrial materials. Also, the project was codenamed the Manhattan Project, so it wasn't too obvious that they were creating an atom bomb. During the time of World War II, President Harry S. Truman dropped 2 atomic bombs in Japan. The bombs were dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, both of which were very populated cities in Japan at the time. The dropping of the 2 bombs killed about 92,000 Japanese citizens. President Truman did not want to kill thousands of Japanese people, but he had to because they killed thousands of Americans. Many thought that President Truman made the wrong decision in dropping the 2 bombs. They thought a more likable ending would have been to force the Japanese to surrender. President Truman believed that he made the right decision and that he saved many American lives. He thought he saved many American lives because the Japanese threatened to schedule a land invasion on the United States. Truman got very scared and immediately dropped the bomb shortly after the threat note. Another reason the president dropped the bomb was because he wanted to get another term of office. If the public found out that he was keeping a weapon that would have ended the war much quicker in hiding, his chances of being re-elected would have been very slim. President Truman had many reasons to drop the bomb, but still, many people believed he was wrong. The Soviets did not know that the U.S. was creating an atomic bomb the same time they were. The Soviets kind of had their production of the atomic bomb as their side project. It wasn't their main priority. Albert Einstein was the one to send a letter to the President of the United States at the time, Franklin D. Roosevelt. In the letter, he proposed that the U.S. should build an atomic bomb. Keeping the production of the bomb was probably the biggest challenge, especially because there were over 200 employees. The President took the letter seriously and started the project right away. They had to create the bomb quickly because they didn't want the Soviets or Japanese to create it first. On May 12, 1942, President Roosevelt signed a paper that said the production of the atomic bomb would commence immediately. This is the largest project the U.S. has ever undertaken. The project was originally named the Development of Substitute Materials. Later on, they realized this was a little questionable, so they changed the name to the Manhattan Engineering District, which today is known as the Manhattan Project. The bomb testing was done in a place called Alamo Gordo, New Mexico. This place was very flat and in the middle of nowhere, and no one lived close to it. The production later on worked well, and they were ready for anything.